Hey guys, so today's lesson is on area of a triangle. Now you might be thinking, okay, well this shape is not a triangle, it's a parallelogram if you remember from today's lesson. But as we saw today, we kind of touched on it. We're going to show you how knowing the area of a parallelogram is going to help you figure out the area of a triangle. So if we were to find the area of this parallelogram, okay, again, just to recap, the formula is base times height. Well, the base is what runs along the bottom. So that would be 10 meters times, and the height again is always, you can find it by the dotted line along, a lot of times that's the hint, or it runs perpendicular or a 90-degree angle or a perfect L-shaped shape to the base. So that would be 6 meters is the height. Okay, and then of course you multiply that together and you get 60 meters squared. Now, today we found out in class that a parallelogram is actually two triangles put together. And there's the other triangle. Okay? So I want us to try and think, if the area of a parallelogram is base times height, how do you figure out half of that? Because half of that would be a triangle. So what we would do is for the triangle, it would be area equals base times height, but then divided by 2. Because when you divide by 2, you're cutting something in half. That's always what you're doing when you're dividing by 2. So, area equals, again, the base is the same, 10 meters times 6 meters, okay, which is 60 meters squared. Then you divide that by 2. So your answer is 30 meters squared, because 60 divided by 2 is 30. So a triangle, so let's just say we're finding the area of the blue triangle, is 30 meters squared. And the next thing I want to make it kind of like a real world situation for you, okay? So pretend that we wanted to paint this, pretend it's a stage, okay? And we were getting ready for a school play and we wanted to paint the stage a different color. I want to paint it green. And we had to try and figure out, well, how much paint do we need? So we go to the store and we figure out that it costs $2.25 per 1 meter squared. So we want to find out just how much it's going to cost to paint the entire stage. So again, this has to do with rates. If you remember our rate unit, so $2.25 per 1 meter squared, well, how much is it going to cost to paint the entire thing? And we just found out on the last screen that our total area was 30 meters squared. Remember, we did base times height divided by 2, we got 30 meters squared. So if the whole area is 30 meters squared, how do we find out how much it's going to cost for the paint? Well, if it's $2.25 per 1 meter squared, you would multiply then $2.25 times 30 to give you your answer, and that answer is $67.50. If you want to set it up as a proportion, which brings us back to our unit 2, you would go to, you would turn this rate here into a proportion. So you go 225 over 1, because that's the 1 meter squared. This is the dollars. And then you fill in the blanks. Well, the other part of the other piece is 30 meters squared. Put the 30 meters squared here, because we're matching up unit to unit, and then you find out your scale factor. 1 times what equals 30? We know it's 30. And then you go 225 times 30. Okay, and that's going to give you the 6750. Okay, so to paint the entire stage, it would cost $67.50. So again, you need to remember that the formula is base times height divided by 2. Okay, and we'll do more with it tomorrow. See you tomorrow.